of Project Naveli, a non-profit initiative working towards providing women with resources and opportunities to allow social and economic change. More power to you, girl. Can we have a huge round of applause for Navya? The fourth panelist, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is none other than our very own Anant Goenka. Anant is the vice chairman of RPG group companies SIAT and Zensa. He was recently the managing director of SIAT from 2012 till March 2023. Prior to this, Anant worked in KEC International and Hindustan Unilever. Anant has been recognized by Forbes as the next generation business leader of the year in 2017 and as India's 40 under 40 business leaders by Economic Times Spencer Stuart. That's not all. In 2017, Anant led SIAT to win the Deming Prize, one of the prestigious Global Quality Awards in the world. Under his leadership, SIAT became the first tire company in the world to achieve the Lighthouse designation by the World Economic Forum. Anant is an economics graduate from the Wharton School University of Pennsylvania and an MBA from the Kellogg School of Management. Can we have a huge round of applause for Anant? And last but not the least, I would now like to invite the man who will be comparing our panel, Nikhil Taneja, who is the co-founder of Yuva, a youth media organization and a platform that is dedicated to the empowerment of young Indian. Well, Nikhil is a Mumbai-based writer, producer, storyteller, entrepreneur, youth mental health advocate. Oh my God, Nikhil, I'm already tired reading this, but amazing. Nikhil has been responsible for some of the biggest hits in the digital space at Y Films.
Have a round of applause for the people over here. We are going to talk about cracking the happiness code. So I think I'm going to start with a very easy one. In one line, what does happiness mean to all of you? Very easy. How can you bring your happiness philosophy in one line? I think we'll start with Navya because she just told me that she wants to answer first.
I actually said the opposite, but thank you. And that's not an easy question. That's a very existential question you've asked me. But I don't know if I can sum it up in a sentence. I'll say it in a word. Happiness for me is my family.
That's a good one. That's a really lovely one. Shreyas?
Well, I am a little longer than this, but happiness for me is the journey of self-awareness, continuously learning, evolving, and embracing the growth that comes from your life's experiences.
So well said, so well said. Shreyas, if I may ask, are you doing better now? How are you feeling? How's your back right now?
Back, yeah, I'm recuperating well. For the last few months, I was struggling a bit, but now I've reached the stage where I feel extremely comfortable. I can travel well, and yeah, I've started batting as well, so it's a great news.
We are all rooting for you. Can we have a round of applause for one of India's premium cricketers? We're all cheering for you. I really hope to see you back on the pitch again.
Thank you so much.
Niharika, in one line, what is happiness?
I feel like if I was really happy, I would know exactly how to answer it. But I think we all want to be happy, and I love how he simplified it in one question and asked, like, we don't spend our entire lifetimes trying to figure it out. So I guess happiness is something I want, happy is something I want to be. So I'm going to work towards it. So just watch my videos so I get happy. Thanks.
Well said. Anand?
To me, happiness is peace of mind.
I think this is something for all the younger folks, I think, to take away. I think this is a Zen philosophy. Thank you so much. Peace of mind. I think fantastic answers from everyone.
They all said such cute things, so I just want to change my answer to everything they said. Ditto.
Anant, I think I'm going to start the panel with you because, of course, RPG's company tagline is Hello Happiness. Why is happiness so important to you as a company? That's not something you see in the typical philosophy. You're always talking about revenue, profits, growth. And suddenly there's this company and this group, which has obviously been a legacy brand. We've heard so much and all of us respect it. Why has been happiness such an important part of your group and your brand and your philosophy?
Yeah, I'd say for us, happiness is very much embedded even in our vision statement. So it says our vision is to unleash talent, touch lives, outperform, and be happy. So that's really, it's embedded in really our core in terms of our beliefs. But why happiness, I'd say, is that we feel that if our people are happy, customers will be happy. We feel that it'll result in better retention, better productivity, and eventually lead to growth and profitability and so on, all the financial metrics. But I think the core starts from happiness. In fact, internally, we've also spoken about, what does happiness lead to success, or does success lead to happiness? And we felt that success leads to happiness only for a short period of time. But if you can internally be happy, and the outcomes of living a balanced life or being more meaningful and purposeful will make you more successful. So we feel happiness leads to success.
That's so well said, and I hope, like, honestly, can you have a round of applause? Because I hope there are more corporates that think this way. And I think one of the great joys for us to work with, as you are, to work with RPG, has been learning that these commandments that we have released today in the research report have been a core part of your group's philosophy and policies. Actionable policies since so long. So congratulations to you and everyone over here who's worked toward making this happen. Niharika, I'll come to you, and I know that I've heard you talk about happiness in a very existential manner before. But I think one of the things that I do recognize is that it's not easy being a content creator. It's very demanding. It's obviously, there are lots and lots of challenges on a day-to-day basis that you face, and especially as a young person, it cannot be easy. And you've just said earlier, you want to be happy. How do you balance this idea of, what is the pursuit of happiness with these daily stresses and demands of being a Gen Z content creator?
I don't think it's any different just because you're Gen Z. But as a content creator that does comedy, I think most of my job is rooted in me being happy, which is not all the time. So like it's tied to my job and my money. So then I remind myself that you need to be happy today because we need to make money, But jokes apart, I think for me, for the longest time in my life, I measured happiness in terms of success. I would equate it to what the next big thing is or the next big goal is until I couldn't do it anymore. I actually started creating content when I was 18, and I did really well for an 18-year-old. I was the most popular kid in college. I had a blue tick before blue ticks were even a thing, guys. Like, you need to know. Like, no, it gets sad. It gets sad. Hold on. So I thought I was really, killing it, right? Like, I thought I made it. And I was a college student where my classmates were taking pictures with me. Now imagine how much that'll get to your head. And then it hit a point where I just didn't know why I was doing what I was doing anymore. I did it for the passion in the beginning, and then it just became for the fame and the numbers, and I couldn't do it anymore, and it didn't make me happy, so I quit. And I did a double master's, and I realized that made me sad. So then I stopped. I didn't stop. I finished it because my parents said they would get me married if I didn't finish it. So I was like, okay, I will do it. I'm a South Indian, if you couldn't tell. So I did whatever they asked me to do, and now I'm happy because my parents are happy. And that's how I get through every single day, by keeping them happy, but also just in smaller things. I don't equate happiness to goals and numbers and anything that you can quantify anymore. I'm going to be so Pinteresty and cliche right now. I find happiness in the tiniest things. When my dog says hi to me first and not my brother, yes, that's a win. I'm the favorite, And I know I'm my parents' favorite, so I'm happy. My brother's not, so yeah.
Thank you for the very real answer, as usual, Niharika. I hope one of the little things that makes you happy is also being on a stage with such cool people.
Actually, I am such an anxious person that this is my nightmare, being in public, which is why I make videos behind closed doors. Comedy ones. Get your minds out of the gutter. So it's just, this is you need to laugh here so I don't get an anxiety attack.
Please laugh.
Oh my
Everyone.
gosh, Niharika, you're so funny. Thank you. Please ask someone else. Thank you.
I think we are talking about pressures and stresses. I think, Shreyas, naturally that comes to you. Being a cricketer for the Indian cricket team, it's such a public and such a high stress environment. Of course, we know that you've gone through injury as well. how do you, as a sports person, as an athlete that everyone is looking at day in and day out and looking up to, so to speak, how do you manage to prioritize your happiness? And does that have an impact towards the performance that you give, in the matches?
See, in our country, fans are definitely passionate about their sports, and whenever they come to see the match, they want their team to win. So obviously, the pressure is always going to be there if you play on the field or you step out of the field. But as they say, when you work and if you enjoy your work, it doesn't feel like working. So that's the mantra which I follow, and I love what I do. Whenever I step onto the field, I enjoy that moment. Whenever I see, the stadium is filled with crowd and it's bustling, the atmosphere is electrifying, and that's what gives me a goosebump. And I just want to go out there and give my best to all of them. So whenever I perform on the field, I see to it that I give 110%. I try to leave no stone unturned, and also my preparation is something like I try to follow a certain kind of routine. I try to repeat it as long as possible. So I try to maintain a kind of discipline. And you see, when you do all these things right, you're not worried about the pressure and the outcomes, to be honest. You just want to focus on what's there on your plate rather than, distracting your mind about what other players are doing or what other teams are planning against you. So, hence, just to, long story short, I just like to, in between the matches, unwind, rejuvenate, relax. Keep that calm and demeanor kind of, mentality, which helps me to focus more. And it kind of motivates me as well. So whenever I step back onto the field, I'm refreshed and I'm ready to roar.
Can we have a round of applause for him? He's been clapping for everybody who speaks on stage. Yeah, he's been like, yeah, absolutely.
There was a happiness in that answer, and suddenly you come to pressure. So, yeah.
No, I'll because you mentioned rejuvenation, so let me ask you, what is the way in between matches, as you said, you chill your downtime, which is your favorite activity that makes you happy?
Spending time with family.
I love everyone on this stage. I think everyone. Give a round of applause. What a sweet bunch of people over here.
Because we crave for that meeting. We are constantly on the, on the field and traveling around. And in between we get that space to come and spend some time with family and friends, obviously. So, yeah.